And we're back with another showcasing with Running with the Wolves promotion. And today we have a talented local band, Wither Decay. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
What up?
Yeah,
All right,
great.
That's good. That's good. You guys making through all this COVID crisis and whatnot.
We're trying.
I feel you. So how'd you guys come about?
Like as a band?
Yeah, as a band. Yeah, not from mom or anything like that.
Let's start from the beginning.
So back in 2016, our drummer Alex and bassist Ethan were in like a deathcore band together, and they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, we are kind of over this. We want to write music that's like a little more meaningful, like stuff like that."
Yeah.
So basically, it was like everyone in that band just changed from being a deathcore band to melodic hardcore because they were a 4-piece.
Yeah.
They added me, and then there was the 5 of us. But then the vocalist of that band ended up quitting, so then we got Dylan, and then we remained a 5-piece as like with those 5 for a couple years, and then we ended up breaking up for a little bit, and then we got back together in 2019, and we picked up this guy, Nathan.
What's up, Nathan? That's what's up. So what is the band's main influence?
Counterparts, KC, Misery Signals.
Okay. I really dig the band's like core sound, that emotion that you guys are able to like put on track and just literally just project to the masses. I love that shit, man. Out of all the bands that I interviewed, you guys sound, not trying to throw shade, but like really like pro level national act. And
oh wow.
Yeah. I love the sound that you guys are making.
Thank you.
So what is each individual's favorite part of this line of work, and what is the least?
Oh man. Man, the least favorite would be, I mean, like right now, especially, is just like waiting. Like, I mean, we can't play shows anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a big bummer. Favorite part though is, I mean, just getting something out that people can connect to, and they let you know, like, yeah, man, I really felt what you guys were portraying in this song. Whether it be the lyrics or the music, you know, it's like I think that's as good as it gets when somebody can connect to something that you wrote and put a lot of time and effort into making.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that one.
Least favorite part is just like not making money. Like it's not like a viable thing.
Yeah, man.
You're going into this business knowing you're just gonna eat shit all the time. But my favorite part, aside from like writing, because I get really stoked when we're writing and like something clicks and we like listen to it again like over and over again, like this certain part that like really is cool. My favorite part is like when we play live shows, and there's like a couple songs where we have like call outs where it's like, you know, obviously point the mic out to the crowd and like actually like hearing, you know, like the whole crowd sing your words back to you.
Yeah.
Gives me goosebumps.
That moment, yeah.
Every time.
Probably least favorite thing. Yeah, like they said, just like dealing with this COVID thing. It's like we're at a standstill on really making any profits or kind of, you know, moving forward in that direction. But I mean, it's not going to stop us or anything. Like we still love making, you know, meaningful music, have it sound super full and honest and like just from the heart.
Yeah, I'm on the same track. I mean, honestly, the hardest part about being a band is there's so many ifs on everything, you know, like you release a new song, you don't know what's going to happen. You're writing new music, you don't know where it's going to go. There's just so many fucking ifs in it, and that's kind of scary at times, but exciting at the same time. But my favorite part is definitely, like Nathan said, just having a personal connection with someone. Like, if we can write a song that touches someone and they experience something that they wouldn't have been able to experience otherwise, like, that's pretty cool, and that's definitely my favorite part about it.
That's what's up, man. There's always ups and downs to everything.
Yeah. You're gonna have to lean in,
Okay.
Alex.
Well, obviously the waiting around for shows to come back sucks, but truthfully, my least favorite part is setup and tear down for shows.
I can relate.
But kind of along with these guys, I really enjoy that. At least for us, we make music that people can relate to, and I really like watching other talent play.
Yeah.
We haven't done this extensively, but we've done one weekend run and we got to see the local bands in those states, and it's just interesting hearing different sounds.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty about music and art. It's like limitless creation by the imagination, and you never know what you're gonna get. There's so much talent in the world, and that's why I created this platform for bands like you guys, for bands like you. It's just you guys deserve to be forefronting the music scene, in my opinion. You guys deserve to be forefronting the music scene. It's too much talent that's going unnoticed.
That's really rad. That's really cool what you're doing.
Yeah, that's really awesome what you're doing.
No, I appreciate it. So you guys released a music video for your single Passerby. So what was the experience like for making that video?
It was hot.
I can only imagine. You can't sweat during those music videos, right? You guys have to
We had six.
We were
fans
still sweating.
Surprisingly, I didn't get that sweaty.
It's crazy because the other music video that we put out this year for Closure was below freezing. Like it was like negative.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
Negative 15 in the
And we posted or I think Nathan posted on our Instagram like a picture of that and was like, yeah, we're fucking never doing that again. And then my fiance commented on it, was like, oh, let me guess, your next video is gonna be like in a really hot building with no AC. And Nathan was like, yeah, fucking right. 3 months later, it ended up happening.
So that's your second music video that you guys created, right?
No, it's our fourth.
We actually,
Right.
yeah,
Four.
We have 2 other music videos. They're both on our personal YouTube page. One's for our very first video is for a song called Broken, and then the second video we have is for Casualty. Broken has like a story video, it's actually really, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. The song's awesome, and the video hits even like harder. And then the song Casualty is like a really fast-paced like hardcore song.
Yeah.
And we did like a 3-day run where we were like in Wisconsin and Minnesota. So it's like a bunch of live footage from those shows.
That's what's up. It's pretty dope. I had never shot a music video at all, so I'm just curious. I'm like, what is that like? How bad does that break the bank for you guys? So shooting the music videos like those.
So
We're lucky.
really lucky. Our first music video was shot by a guy named Zach Mayfield. He used to play guitar in a band called Earth Groans, who also their vocalist Jeremy records all of our music. He charged us, a handful for our first music video, but he's worth the money. He's done videos for bands like Devil Wears Prada and stuff like that. The dude's it. Yeah. But our 3 other music videos for Casualty, Closure, and Passerby, our good friend Gage Hansen did those for us.
Came out great.
And luckily, and he kills it, and luckily he does not break the bank for us at all. He's an unofficial member of Wither Decay.
That's what's up. So is there you guys ever, is there go-to items that you guys really need when you guys go out and play to a show or anything like that?
Water.
Absolutely.
Strings, picks, wireless.
Yeah.
Batteries.
Batteries.
You ever had one of those things go out during a live show?
Nathan.
Oh, Nathan. We got Nathan back here.
I had a bad pedal board a while back.
Yeah.
So it shorted out during one set, and I had to kick it back on. And had to do that 8 times, I think, throughout our set. And bought a new pedal board the next day. So far, we're good.
Our last show that we played, we did the setup and everything was working fine. Our wireless packs were working fine, everything like that. And then we did our sound check. And literally, as soon as we got done with our sound check, we went to start the set, no one's wireless units were working. And it turns out one of the headlining bands had their wireless units turned on, and their signal was interfering with all of our signals. And so, at last second, we had to all rip our wirelesses out, shove cables in, play the show like that.
Straight old-fashioned.
Yeah. It was just like it was just a panic moment because like we're literally getting ready to play and no one has any sound coming out of their amps. We're like, fuck.
Yeah, you throw like millions, well, not millions, but $1,000 worth of equipment. Shit. Yeah.
And then you got everyone in the crowd just staring at you while you're like sitting here like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You're like a bunch of like amateurs, like this is why they're a fucking local band.
It's a hot water moment, man. Oh man, for the worst, especially when you like lose a string or some shit.
Yeah.
Or misplace, your timing in the song or anything like that. So every band has an origin on how they got their band name. How did you guys come up with Wither Decay?
Oh yeah. So me and our old guitar player Blake, we're sitting around at like 2 or 3 in the morning writing, and we were like, we need a new name for the band because the original name for the band was Embers. And we were like, that sucks. We can do better. And the first one we came up with was Dakota because of like a drum pattern we were making, and it was just like Dakota. And I was like, Dakota, that's cool. That's melodic hardcore enough, right? And then it turns out there's like an EDM guy named Dakota. I was like, I can't do that. There's a street by my house called Mayfield Street. And I was like, Mayfield, that's a hardcore name. That's cool. Nope, there's a melodic hardcore band called Mayfield already. I said Wither, and I think there's already a band called Wither, and Blake said Decay. And I was like, that sounds too heavy. And then we put them together. Like, Wither Decay. Yep, that sounds cool. Fuck it. Let's just do that.
I feel you. If you guys were able to create a dream tour with some of your favorite bands, what would that dream lineup be?
Counterparts is headlining.
Holding absence.
Casey for sure. Yeah.
That's 3.
I mean, I'd throw Indent Animate on there because they rip so hard.
Any
Tekashi 69.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
He's opening
Black Bear.
Nah, dude, he's playing out front, dude. Like outside the venue.
Right. So, where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years? Even though COVID has everything on pause for everybody, where do you guys see yourself?
I think the plan that we had before COVID hit was this year we were going to try and do a few weekenders and kind of expand out anywhere within 8 hours of our hometown, Omaha, Nebraska. Do that a few times this year, build up, and then next year do maybe a week-long run, and then a couple more weekenders, and just slowly build up our market in our region, and then try and branch out further and further each year. Was kind of what we had been discussing, but COVID.
Yeah, I know, dude. Fucking sucks.
So hopefully now we can just like write the best material that we can, and hopefully just get like noticed on like an online scale, which I think is kind of more important anyway. So hopefully like we can just put out, really, really good music and get noticed.
Drop some albums, at least an EP.
Yeah, definitely in the future. Keep pumping out good jams.
So yeah, you mentioned online. Do you guys feel that technology is ruining, local artists, or is
I would say yes and no, because of course it's at your fingertips. So I mean, like anybody can see our music and be like, oh, that's sick, and then share it with their friends, and then their friends will share it. Like it's definitely a cool concept, but you also get kind of watered down with everyone else that is also trying to feel that fire.
That or you put out a fire song or whatever, and people really love it, but then if you don't have anything after that, then people are just sitting there waiting, and then you kind of get lost in the shuffle because you haven't done anything in a few months, and people think it's stagnant or whatever, and people aren't going to listen to the same thing over and over again, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, for us personally, we put out 2 songs this year, whereas maybe we could have put out an EP, but for us, we don't want to rush any of our music.
Yeah.
And I'd rather give people 3 songs in 1 year that fuck really hard versus 10 songs that are just meh.
Yeah, you want to put out good content, and it's quantity over quality over quantity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand. You mentioned Weekenders. How many times you guys been out?
Well, we've
Just once.
done it once, but we played. We played in Des Moines in February, and I think it was was it January? I just remember. I don't know.
We played Des Moines. We played up in Wisconsin, and we played in Minneapolis, and then Omaha a bunch, obviously.
What's the furthest you guys ever been out?
As a band, it'd be Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Is it scary to play in a foreign town or?
Oh, 100%.
You don't know if people are gonna even watch.
Yeah.
But we were fortunate when we played in Minnesota. We got just thrown on this fucking show, and like every band was just nuts to butts heavy.
Like super heavy.
It's like
Yeah.
there is a Terraform, Soulkeeper, the Cambion, like all these super heavy bands. Yet like, and then there's us who were like we're not that heavy, and like
Yes.
everyone loved us though. Like we were the outlier of the show, and like everyone really loved us. And then like our show in Wisconsin, we played with like Wolfskin, and then another band like us called Nanashi. And again, it was just like we were really fortunate to play these like really really cool shows because like I used to be in another band, and we toured a lot. Like we'd go on 2-3 week long tours like from coast to coast, and we would get shows where like no one would be there, or like it would be like us with like dad rock bands that we don't even fit with, and it's rough. So luckily Wither Decay has like been fortunate enough that like the very few shows we've done outside of Omaha have been like really really good.
That's
Our Des Moines show, we were the outlier in Des Moines too, and everyone.
Yeah, it's like a
everyone
bunch of
fucked
beatdown
with
bands,
us.
a lot of all beatdown bands in Des Moines, and then us. People were still like moshing to us and like buying our merch and stuff.
That's what's
Yeah, it
up.
was cool.
So how did you guys like what was the start for you guys to like I'm gonna pick up a guitar and just start playing? I'm gonna start singing. I'm gonna start like what inspired you guys to just like pick up an instrument?
Guitar Hero for sure. Played a lot of Guitar Hero, and then I'm like, Mom, I need a real guitar, and so I finally got one. And I think my first song was like a Linkin Park song.
Ooh, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Was that actually gonna happen?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Guitar Hero, dude.
Yeah.
Come at me, dude.
Dude, I think you're out.
I was fortunate enough that I have two siblings that are like 10 years older than me. So like I grew up listening to like metal and stuff like that. And so like at the age of like 11 or 12, I got my first bass. Because like at the time I was really into like Mudvayne and Pink Floyd, and their bassists are just awesome.
Yeah.
But then when I was like 14 or 15, like when I became like a scene kid, I was like, well, I can't get girls playing bass, dude. No one cares about that. So I like went and bought a guitar, and I was like, yes, dude, guitar is the way. And then like 16, 17 rolled around, and I was like, I fell in love with playing guitar, and I was like, oh, I don't care about girls anymore. I care about playing guitar. Like, no one cares if you play guitar, but like I just fell in love with the instrument and loved like all the sounds I could create playing it. So never looked back.
No, that's dope.
I'd say for me, I was pretty young, and I think my dad and my mom like got me like a drum set and a guitar one year, and I just kind of like messed around playing drums, messed around playing guitar, and just like slowly started moving into like more production type music. So like I bought my first MacBook when I was 16, and I just dove into trying to like, you know, produce music, trying to like mix and master stuff, and just trying to like do it all myself, so I don't have to like really, if I didn't have anybody else I wouldn't need them.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like that I just fell in love with like learning and just constantly trying to like perfect a craft.
I think it's rare to actually like have someone, especially at the age of 16, to like dive into like, you know, engineering, audio engineering, and try to like produce their own stuff, you know.
Honestly, I mean, at first, at 16, you dive in and you're like, oh man, you think everything sounds good to you because you're like, oh, I made it.
Yeah.
but I mean, I look back on it now and I'm like, oh my, I don't know why any of that is on the internet and why it ever should have hit the internet. But I mean, I would never take it back because it's just, it shows my progression over the years, and I mean, nothing else, you know, makes you feel better than that.
That growth, yeah.
Yep.
So for me, I think I was like 12 or 13, and I have 2 brothers and a sister, and my oldest brother got an electric guitar, and anytime he was at work, I'd sneak into his room and I'd grab his electric guitar and I'd plug it in. I'd start fucking around on it and all that shit. And then when I was about 14, my parents got me a bass and an acoustic guitar, and I just went from there. I just sat, every free moment I had, I would just sit on the computer looking up songs on the internet and learn to play them and everything like that. And I think the first song that I learned completely through was Chapter 4 by Avenged Sevenfold.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I moved on.
Took me back. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then I moved on to like Forever by As I Lay Dying and shit like that, you know. And I've just loved it ever since then. Like the moment I picked up the guitar, I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do with my life. Like I want to play music. Like that's all there is to it. Like I don't fucking care how long it takes or what I have to go through. This is what I want to do. Because like it's always been my outlet, my way to get, you know, everything out for sure.
Much respect. Definitely keep holding on to that vision, you know. You just got to keep digging.
Yeah.
Well, I picked up drums when I was like 8 or 9. I was hanging out with my dad, and we were at one of his friend's house, and that particular friend was in like grunge bands in the 90s, and he just had a bunch of gear at his house. So he had, you know, guitars, basses, drum set. And originally I wanted to play the guitar. So I was like, Pat, teach me how to play guitar. So we tried, and it just was not working out at all. Couldn't figure out how to hold the damn thing. Or
too many
strum or
strings.
just do anything. So I just hopped behind the kit and somehow just kind of knew what I was doing. Like I definitely wasn't good, but I could keep tempo. I could, you know, play rhythm and stuff like that. And I think that following Christmas, my dad got me this little first act 3-piece drum set that had like a snare, a tom, a shitty cymbal, and a bass drum, and just kind of just went from there. So
you guys are all pretty much self-taught, or is there?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh man, much respect, man. So if you guys can change anything about the music industry today, what would it be?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, that is a loaded question. Change everything up. My biggest thing is probably just like, I think it's more of like a recent thing. It kind of ties in with like, you know, social media and stuff. It's like, it's all about, you know, plays and views now. It's not really about like what
Talent.
the message is and like what it actually like entails. I feel like only like maybe 10 to 20 years ago, you know, it was about the message. It was about like how, you know, how good you can play music. Now it's like, okay, you might be good, but if you're not getting, you know, 10,000 plays a day on Spotify, you're not really hitting that.
Yeah. I think today they cater to like gimmicks more than
Definitely.
and that's so depressing. It really is so depressing to see the music industry in like, so I'm gonna choose an artist that has 20,000 plays than an artist that has real talent that only has 200. You know, it's ridiculous.
I agree with that, man.
Yeah. I think we all agree on that.
Man, well, I mean, I believe you guys, maybe even sooner, but I can see you guys in a year or two just like headlining shows, touring from east to west UK, you know?
I mean, we definitely want that to happen for sure. Yeah, fingers crossed.
And, you know, you guys definitely have my utmost respect. You know, the talent's there, the emotion is there, and it's just the timing, you know, the moment, you know. I do believe you guys have what it takes.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anytime. Well, again, I want to say thank you guys for, you know, doing this with me, and you know, taking the time out of your day to actually answering all these questions and being with Running with the Wolves. I do this because I love doing this. I love discovering new acts. I love listening to new music. I love, you know, seeing the talent, you know, flourish, you know, and that's what I want to do. I want to keep pushing for local acts to get noticed. And you guys, I usually do end of the month, band of the month giveaway. So you guys are automatically entered to get either, well, a logo or an album art from my artist. And I want to say thank you guys for being on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.